and Manuel will now talk you guys through our new portals.
Exactly. So one of the biggest changes are the portals. Currently, or before the update, it was only possible to have one start page or landing page, whatever you call it. And now you have the possibility, if you are a customer that is in a professional plus license of ours, then you have the possibility to choose to also enable the portals. Portals allow you to create multiple start pages or landing pages actually, and add different things to these portals. Different things can be, as you now currently use it, courses. It's also possible to add, of course, workshops and pages to these portals. So pages are these single pages where you can put any information on you want. And what's new is the RSS feed. So you can also include or embed your, for example, your company's blog and show the news articles on an own portal, or even next to the courses if you want. So you can have courses plus external content like RSS feeds or a YouTube channel if you have. And you can use these portals similar to the start page, which you already used to. You can say that widgets on these portals are available only for a certain audience. So you could say, for example, I have a portal which shows our news, and then you can say the English news should only be visible for a certain group from the international part of the company. And on the other hand, you could say, for example, the German news should only be visible for the German employees of our company, for example. So you can specify who sees what on this portal. Rosanna is showing it parallel to what I'm saying here. So this would be an example of an RSS feed. So you can embed any RSS feed and then just say who should see this RSS feed on that portal. And yeah, that's mainly the new stuff you can add and change and do with the portals. And I think it's, from the logic, it's quite similar to what you've been used to before. The big difference is that you can, one, add portals, and the other big difference is that you can add external media like YouTube or RSS feeds.
In the English language, there's no name change, right?
Yeah.
Because in German we had a name change. It was called Rubriken before, and now we called it widgets, but it has been called widgets before. So I'll take it up from here. As Manuel said, you can build certain portals or home pages with the different widget categories and choose what kind of content is shown to which audience. But you also have another layer of deciding who sees which course, and that is what I'm going to repeat for everyone real quick. This is an option that has already been there, but we just want to make it clear to everyone how it works and how you can use those two layers in order to really point out the content to different user groups and decide who sees what, essentially. So the first option is usually the option that companies use that do trainings for internal employees, which is the by invitation only. And this means basically that we're talking about the private course, which cannot be seen by members of the academy or people who are not enrolled in the academy, and can only be seen and taken if you invite that person to the course directly. This invitation, as always, can take place manually with a username, with an email address, with a bulk editing with Excel, or via the API as single sign-on, for example. But as I said, the course only becomes visible in the moment the person is enrolled into the course. The second option we have here is by invitation or using the enroll button for Academy members. And here the logic is like this, that Academy members can see and enroll themselves into this course without approval. So a use case for this option would be if you have internal courses in your company, which are not mandatory but optional for your employees, so they can choose themselves if they want to take that course or not. External users do not see this course, so they only can access this course after you have invited them to the academy or the course directly. The third option allows you to change that up a little bit. The third option also gives you an enroll button, but with approval. So no matter if you are an academy member or not a member of the academy, you do see the course. And before you are able to access the course, you have to go and enroll yourself, and then a trainer or a manager has to approve this registration. And as I said, obviously the registration has already been taken place for academy members, so they don't have to fill in the form before they enroll. However, new members of the academy who don't have an account yet, they are being asked to fill in a form beforehand. In both cases, however, they only can access the course after someone has approved the registration. The fourth option is often used by customers who sell their courses, and this is a public course where everyone can see and access the course. So someone who has not an account in the academy yet will have to sign up first before entering the course, but the enroll button basically takes immediate action, and the person does not need further approval before they can access the contents of the course after they registered for it. The fifth option is only available through our shop, which is the e-commerce feature, and that means the course is always visible, but it can only be accessed after the fee has been paid or the billing has been demanded, so to say, and only then the participant can access the course. So I wanted to show this layer inside the course as well, just to show how you can really have different options on how to get your content on the different portals, and to make sure that every course or every page is only seen by the user group you want it to be visible to.
Yep. So that's another layer of visibility if you want, right? So you can have a widget visible for a certain user group, but you can also say that it's that a course in this widget is invisible as long as you are not enrolled. So just to be sure that that every setting is covered. We went very deep in this logic here.
Yeah, and this obviously leaves us with a lot of options on how to design our different start pages for different user groups, which is especially useful for academies with a lot of content inside. So a very common example would be a start page, which shows some courses in the spotlight and then goes on with displaying my own courses and then courses I can explore and see. So this is like a really simple layout of the start page, which is especially useful for companies that want to be very straightforward with their content and probably only have a few courses for the employees or the customers. It can also be imagined that this My Courses widget only shows the current courses and not the courses that have already ended. So you could add another widget which shows the courses you have already successfully taken. A more exotic layout, so to say, of portals could be to sort the different courses after different categories, which we have prepared here in Platina International and Germany. So in the international example, we're only showing the English courses for different categories. And as you see in our demo academy here, we're lacking a bit of content for the international section. But if we go to the German part of this portal, so here we see all the different German courses and contents, and we have sorted them after different categories. So we here have the security and health section, we have the information security section, and all those courses obviously in the first place have been added a category, and then in the second place we edited the filters for the portal in the way to display the widgets like this. And now we have the different course cards, and again we can choose from a lot of different appearance styles in order to really show it the way that it fits, for example, the course cover, or it fits the way we want to display content. So in an actual academy, it might be handy to display important contents a bit bigger than contents that are not so important. Like, for example, here for the software tools, we also use this slider option, which is also a nice way to display many courses, but you don't want to scroll that far down. So these are like two options on how you could build a portal for different parts of your organization, and always make the parts of the content visible that is relevant for the user group that will click into that portal.
It's always a rule I go by with this, that you set as few checkboxes as possible and as many as necessary, because each checkbox is of course a source of an error, right? So if one field does not or if a user does not fulfill or misses one field, then he cannot see a whole widget. So always take care that you have a very complete a set of data of users, so that the users don't run into an empty landing page.
Exactly. So with the new portals, it's also more and more possible to use Coursepath not only as a platform for courses, but also as a platform for an information portal or a wiki. So obviously you had the chance before already to use Pages. For everyone who doesn't know Pages, we just show that real quick again. This is a page with the content from the internet. So here we go. In a page, you can display content outside of courses. So if you have content that is not supposed to be inside a course, you can add it to a page, and it will always be available for your employees. So if they want to check something, if they want to read up to something, they can just go into that page and read it up without being asked test questions about it or similar. So if you now go ahead and place multiple of those pages to a portal page, you can make this portal an information portal. In our use case here, we have, as I just showed, like a page with content, but you could also link a web page to it, and it is now in the new update shown in this neat little box here, so you have a nice preview of what is behind the link actually, and you can still add your own content below it. Also, what we have shown in our information portal here is a YouTube feed, which we embedded to it. So that's another option to add like nice content to your information portal, just to give it a good content basis for your employees to actually find knowledge in there. And what comes handy in here is also the search function, which Manuel will talk a little bit more in just a minute. But before that, I want to show you the news portal, which is another nice option you now have. As you just saw, you can also include RSS feeds to your portal, and we did that here. So this is, for example, our e-learning block that is shown, and next to the German block, which should be shown here, apparently we mixed up the links a little bit. As we just said, you can give out the content for different user groups. So I have prepared that for our account Austin here. So if Austin goes to the news portal, he sees the Tips and Tricks International instead of the German widget, which was just at my news portal, which shows, so if the user is sorted into another group, they can see actually a whole different site, even though we as manager build it in the same portal view. And now back to Manuel for the search.
Yeah, the search becomes more relevant the more content you have, of course. And the search here, as you see, has become a little bit more prominent. And just for your information, this search is not part of every academy. It's part of academies, at least with a professional license. So there's no confusion about that. And the search allows what Rosanna just showed to search for any keyword. The search will search through all courses, comments, and also documents, as long as they are text documents, not image documents or something. And what you can see now here are the big two tiles at the top of the search results. They show two different courses. So both courses have the word strategic in their names. And below the smaller tile is a single course step. And on the left, you have different filters you can set. You can filter for certain categories. For example, you can say, I'm looking for a course in the category health and safety, or something like that. You can say, okay, I know it's a workshop, but I forgot the name or something, and then you can say type workshop, and then you can filter the different courses there. And of course, for international academies, you can also say, I'm looking for courses in the language English, for example, or Dutch, and then you just click on language and then select the specific language you like to see. And that's in a nutshell how the search works. I'd say.
Very straightforward.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the big news about the homepage and the different portals. But also, obviously, a lot changed inside the courses. So that's what we want to look into right now. And for me, a big change was actually the smaller main menu, because I think it is very handy to make the main menu as small as possible, but as Manuel would say, as big as necessary. Just because on small screens, it really takes up a lot of your screen space. And as you know, in browsers, you already have like so many different bars here that make your screen smaller. And I obviously now have quite a big screen in front of me, but especially for notebook users, you don't want the bars to take too much space of your screen. So I think it's a really great change to have it a little bit smaller. And same goes for the course banner. As you remember, the course banner before has been taking up quite some space in the middle of the screen, and now it's just a little bit on top, which frees up space for the actual contents of the course. And you see them, like you see a lot more of them directly without scrolling down. For the course banner, you will find that the secondary color or the main color of the course is now automatically chosen depending on what you choose for the banner picture. So if you go into the edit of the course, you can now, as before, set a cover image, which is the image shown in the cards on the portal. But you can also set a banner image, which is the picture we just saw. And the cool thing here is you can now drag and drop contents into Coursepath, so you don't actually have to open the Explorer for that. And we have two new nice cards here. One of them is the stock photo search, which will find you pixel photos you can use in your courses. So if I now go and search for a certain mood or a certain theme I want to use in my banners or cover images, or anywhere inside the course actually, then I can just go ahead and choose any of those pictures available. If I say I want it a bit more simple, I can also choose a color for my banner, and then obviously the color for the effects, this one here, will also be according to the color that I chose for the banner. If I now go into the step, we notice further changes that have been made. One very neat change is actually for authors of courses, because now you can access the Manage Course menu from every single step of the course, as well as obviously still the Edit Step menu. So you don't have to go back to the table of contents in order to manage your course. And for the participants, we have a nice change, which is here, a long wished feature by many customers. So wherever you are in the course, you now see which step of which are you at, and even if companies are using the question pool, the step count is already adjusted to the number of steps you've chosen to be asked in the question pool, obviously. Another change is the bigger video player, which some maybe have already noticed. So the videos are just a tiny bit bigger, which is great because you don't have to necessarily go into full screen before viewing them. And if you add web pages now to the course, as seen earlier, they are shown in a nice little preview box as well. If we go now and add a completely new step, those buttons have changed a bit as well. So you now have the option, as always, to add a question, but the Add Document or Embed Media button has been merged to one button. So now you have all buttons in one nice place, and you can choose all the media that you either want to show in the view case or as a download below your step. So this means also a little change for external content. As you know, you can also embed HTML5 content or any other content through an LTI connection. Manuel, do you want to explain again what that is? You did it so nicely in the...
I'm already blushing. Yeah, the LTI, just for you, if you don't know what that is, I didn't know that not too long ago. The LTI connection allows you to display content that's being hosted on a totally different server. So what you currently see, this course change management, it is actually not on a Coursepath server. It is on a server from the company Good Habits. And via this LTI connection, it can be displayed directly as a part of a course in Coursepath. And the progress the participant makes in this content gets also transferred via LTI to Coursepath. So you can track the progress and then just continue where you left off. It's a very, how do you say, very effective, efficient way to embed content, because you save time to upload stuff. To if there's a change, then you do not have to go to Good Habits and say, please change it, and then they send you a new file. It's just that they change it on their servers, and then you have it directly available in your system without moving your hands almost. So very convenient.
And we already had two options before, which was the large media player you can choose for pretty much any step. And especially for those LTI contents, we also have the open media in a new window option. If I click this option, the content will open in a new browser tab. But since it looks so nice in the new update, I'm going to show you how it looks. So now it's really seamlessly connected to Coursepath. And if you're just a participant and you don't know that this content is actually not on the Coursepath server, you wouldn't recognize it just because it's completely seamlessly integrated into Coursepath. And I think it looks great and kind of makes the option to open it in a new tab unnecessary, simply because before it was like in a box, but now there's like no borders visible anymore. And I think it looks really great. And I strongly suggest to use it if you use any LTI content in your academy. Yes. Yeah. Another one I forgot tomorrow in the morning, but which I also wanted to show because not many people know of it, is the change thumbnail option. The preview picture of each single step is picked automatically if you have a video or a picture in the viewing box, but if you don't have that, you will get a gray preview, which is obviously not looking very nice. But if you go to the step editing, you can go and change the image of this place. And now I could go and type for a nice picture I want to have here and choose that picture as a new thumbnail for the step. And so even if I don't like the preview picture that is chosen for the video, for example, I'm using in that step, I can still go and change the thumbnail. It's a thing, Manuel.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. Yeah. So
that's all about the new features.
These were the most important points, I think. And I hope you learned something. And I stop the recording now.